What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri zone, and welcome back to the day after. And it's time to have a serious chat right now, because this is bad. You know, it's actually alarming. The situation is alarming. Also because it's you cannot fix it. And as you can see, the title, the pictures, they might be funny, but the situation is not funny. The situation is really bad, and whatever we try to cook up in the summer, it's rotten. You know, if you taste it right now, you will get brought to the emergency room because nothing is good at this moment in time, and everything is worrying. And what's even more worrying is that Giuntoli, who's overseeing this, is actually very calm with it, you know. And you can say, no, he's not calm with it. Well, his actions scream, I'm calm with it, you know, or his actions scream, I failed. His actions scream, I'm messed up right now, and it's gonna get worse from now until the end of the season, you know. But before we get into all of that, first off, smash the like button. Let's do something positive these days. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about how bad the situation actually is and how worrying it is that Giuntoli is pretty much okay with it at this moment in time. Okay, I say that because before the game, before the kickoff of the Benfica game, he said we wanted to bring in 2 defenders. And right now, our transfer window is closed, but we will always remain open for opportunities. Our goal was not to sell anyone, which is also a lie. He said we wanted to bring in 2, and we basically got 2 defenders in. We lost Bremer and Cabal, who was actually surprisingly okay. But you lost Bremer. You moved on Danilo. You only have 2 fit center backs. An injury was always going to happen. And now Kalulu is out. And with his injury record, and with our injury record and our history at the club, he will miss quite a lot of games. It's an unfortunate injury, but he's going to miss quite a lot of games. You cannot register players for the Champions League. I get it. But the thumbnail is not there for jokes, because you brought in a player in Costa who nobody knows. He's probably not going to play. He's not going to be ready because he's an unknown. And you brought in a player in Vega who this season didn't even play as a center back. Another unknown. That's what you did when you had 2-3 months to prepare. That is what you offered Motta and the team. And when I say the team, is because you are forcing Motta to play a backline, and probably in the league as well, of McKennie, Locatelli, Timothy Weah, Savona. That's what you're telling Motta to do. And also the players. You're putting them in horrible situations. McKennie, I cannot get on McKennie's case because he cannot defend. He's not a defender. I cannot get on Locatelli's case if he cannot defend. He's not a defender. I cannot really call out Savona because he's a Serie C player last season. I cannot do these things. Like, I can do it, and we will. Like, when it's not good, we will say it's good, but are we, like, is that are we really blaming these guys? Like, if they cannot, it's like telling, I don't know, it's like telling Kalulu you're going to play striker and he stinks out the plays and we're like, man, you're horrible. You cannot play striker. We know that. You're not a striker. We're not playing center backs. We're playing players out of positions, and this is what Giuntoli brought. This is what he did. He is failing right now. And I'm one of these persons saying, I'll need another summer to see the bigger picture. I'm getting to a stage where I'm like, I don't want to see the big picture at this moment in time. I'm actually scared to see the big picture I thought I needed to see before I could make my mind up. I'm actually scared to see the full picture in the summer, because this far, he's making extremely questionable decisions. We refuse up to 30 million euros for Gatti, but we turned around and sold Dean Huijsen for, what was it, 12 million? Plus bonuses or whatever it was. That's what we did. And the talks is we're handing out new contracts to players like Gatti. Players who should not be at the club. He's not the only one, by the way. I'm just saying. But we refuse money for him. That is my point. Those are questionable decisions as the January transfer window is all questionable. It makes no sense. It doesn't scream, I'm helping you out. I've said it week 1, week 2. I said he failed. And all the comments were, you're overreacting, you're negative, this channel is negative, it's still a couple of days left. I don't care. Whatever happened, it's all panic. It's all panic. You're going to overpay like stupid, or you're bringing in players on loan because you don't really believe him in, or you're taking on projects like Alberto Costa. You failed. You failed Motta, you failed the team. And I'm talking at the top off because you need to start from the top off. When Allegri lost against Maccabi, Agnelli came before the camera and spoke. He backed his guy. Now, where is that? Where is the backing of you, coach? And we will get into Motta in a second. But you picked him. You made him your guy, the guy for a project. You do not come out and back him. The management from top to bottom is weak. It's not existent. They're not backing anyone. I don't know how these players and coach need to feel because they're getting attacked, and we will get into that as well. But if you really believe in what you're trying to do, you come out and you speak post game with strong words, not BS, strong words. That doesn't happen. So the media and the fans pile on, which they're allowed to do, by the way. But until you do not come out, the focus will be on everybody else but you at this moment in time. I'm not going to do that because you're at the top. I don't care about Ferrero and Scanavino because they're useless, they're pointless, and they're Alcon puppets to clean up the books, So I don't care about these guys. I actually do not want to hear about them because they have nothing of value to add because they don't know anything about football. That's that. Now you go back to the other layer, and that's the performances. All summer, towards the end of the summer, I was on this channel and I said, we need to fix the backline. It's not good. And even if you think it's quality enough, was good enough, I said, you bring in a coach like Motta, it's mind-blowing, like actually mind-blowing that you target Calafiori, you miss out, you go for Todibo, who is still a drop-off from Calafiori in terms of what you want from a player, or what Motta wants from a player, playing out from the back and playing his system, and you miss out on him as well. And that was brushed aside because you got Kalulu, who, by the way, has been okay, but still, like we were 1 minute into the game and you could see the problem already when Gatti could play an easy pass to set up Douglas Luiz, who was in acres of space, and he plays it back to Kalulu, who was under immediate pressure. And Douglas Luiz was looking at Gatti and he was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what the hell is it? That's a problem. Because you are asking a coach, or you bring in a coach because you believe in what he did at another team with certain profiles. You bring him in, you don't help him out with those profiles. That's one. The second point is players who are supposed to be leaders or are supposed to make a difference are like at an all-time low, and I'm being nice. When I talk about Vlahovic, he rushes and it feels like he wants to fight everyone when he's trying to control a ball. It feels like he's trying to fight the entire world just to control a ball. It's actually insane to watch. Like, it's actually sad to watch. I don't even know how you convince a club to buy him at this moment in time. Because this is nothing to do with movement. This is to do with you're just rubbish at playing football, at controlling a ball, like the most basics of things. Like, this is not deep tactics, and the movement is not good enough, and the ball are not arriving, which is also not happening, by the way. But to begin with, like at one point, he won the ball back in the box, and for some reason, he tripped over it twice in the space of 2 seconds. I'm like, dude, stay calm, be composed. That's one of those things. The other thing as well is it doesn't feel right. It feels off. Fabio Capello came out and he said it feels like the team and the players are scared of Motta. They're scared to not do what what he's asking them to do and be on his own. I'm not really sure about that because Motta comes out and said the players have all the freedom up top, which is an issue, by the way, in itself, because they have no idea how to do that. I was watching on a Belgian network, and that person who was a commentator watched the first Juve game of the season. He said it. This is the first time he actually sat down and watched full 90 minutes. And what he said, After only 90 minutes, it's what we've been saying for months. He said Gatti, it's actually weird that he is a starter in this team. He said, he basically said, I cannot believe it. Then he went on saying it's too slow. The movement of the ball, it's way too slow to play any team away. To play or to put any team in some trouble. We take 1,000 touches, we make the wrong decisions, passes too overhit, too slow, too like getting the speed out of the attack so many times, crossing to nobody. Conceição, which I said a couple of weeks ago, I said, hold on with paying the 30 million or whatever for Conceição because he's not improving. Like he plays with his head down. He doesn't look up. It's all on his own. It's not looking. It's just it's all over the place. It's not good. It's not worth to spend 40 million euros in total for a player like Conceição who doesn't see the field, who just thinks about I'm having the ball right now and I drive to players, which I do like, but I make the wrong decisions over and over and over and over and over again, you know? He takes on these players. I like that. I appreciate that. I like that in a player. But man, you're not taking the world on your own. You have teammates. You need to realize that. He's not realizing that. And that goes also to Motta because, come on. Like, surely you can see that and you force him to play with his teammates. Otherwise, do not play him at all. That's that. The movement is so slow. Like Douglas Luiz, for example, there was a 10-minute spell in the second half where he was guiding his players to make certain runs. And he was doing that whilst holding on players. And he was asking players to overlap, to make some movement. There is no movement. And he's forced to play it slow, sideways, easy. There is no movement. We have so many issues right now from the squad, how it is built, from the owners in terms of Giuntoli, who I think is controlling this right now or is overseeing this, not coming out, having a miserable January, not backing Motta / the team and the players who are being put in a position, literally, they shouldn't be put in. It's just all over the place. And I'm still one of those persons. I know people will say, is this what you wanted? No, like that's bullshit. Nobody wanted this. I prefer to have Palladino. I'm on record saying that. But when Motta came in, I'm like, cool. I like Motta as a coach. And I still believe in his abilities. However, right now, it's not working out for many reasons. The squad, how it's built. Also, his decisions at times as well. Like, I believe, he's making wrong decisions. He's being stubborn in certain areas. And it's not helping himself because he doesn't have those players. So he needs to find another solution. The squad... last season, I said the squad was good enough to do better. I believe that. This squad is also good enough to do better. The backline is worse than last season. It's actually shit right now because Bremer went down and all the rest I do not rate really, at all. So it's worse. You invested in a midfield that should be better. Quality-wise, it should be better, but it's not. When Giuntoli comes out pre-game, said we had so many injuries and that's it. I'm like, cool. Fine, we had injuries, but that was at the start of the season when we had 7-8 players out. That's not really the case right now. We're not improving, and the injuries we have right now, you didn't really address with some real certainties. So I don't know what he cooked up, but right now, whatever he's serving us, it's food poisoning. We need to stop eating it because we are all gonna die if we keep on eating whatever they're serving up right now. Because this is worrying. This is extreme. This performance, I saw the Napoli performance and the second half was bad, but I was still not worried. I'm like, I saw a good half. At one point, you need to have something that clicks, right? What I saw against Benfica is just straight up worrying, where I'm like, it's gonna get worse. I've seen this over the last couple of seasons where there was one performance where I'm like, it's gonna fall apart right now. I've said it all season, last couple of seasons. I've said it all the time, excuse me, and I'm going to say it right now because this is one of those performances where I need to sit back and say it's going to fall apart. It's going to collapse because these players have no clue what to do right now. They are low on confidence. There's no reaction. There's no basic stuff like some sort of passion or fight or will to win a game. There's nothing, and that is so worrying. But it starts with Giuntoli. It starts with him. It really starts with him. And I said again, I want to see the big picture. 2 summers in, 2 full summers in. I'm scared to see the big picture. I'm really fearful. That performance against Benfica yesterday is not a good sign. I was never worried about top 4, but after that Benfica game, I saw something I've seen in the past couple of seasons where we just scraped it by luck or because other teams failed. That performance screams that. It was that bad. It was that worrying because I've seen it so many times in the last couple of seasons. But let me know in the comments. Again, forget what happens in the transfer window right now. It's all too late. I don't care anymore. It's done. But let me know in the comments what you think. Like the video, subscribe, and stay tuned for a double video tomorrow, including a live show. So thanks for watching, and ciao.